In 1901, Greek sponge divers pulled a bronze lump from the wreck of a ship. It would take a century to realize what they'd found and what it cost the ancients to build it. That bronze lump sat in a museum for decades untouched. No one knew what it was. The Greeks had called it a mechanism, but mechanisms do what? Calculate, navigate, predict. The artifact was damaged, corroded, fragmented into pieces, and the decision facing archaeologists was stark: spend years on an unsolved puzzle or move on to clearer finds. Most moved on. But one man did not. Decades later, a researcher named Derek de Sala Price asked a simple question: what if the ancients weren't primitive? What if they could think? What if they built machines the way we do? He paid the cost of obsession, years of his career, credibility on the line, to find out. So what was the mechanism? When Price finally examined it closely, he saw gears, dozens of them, nested inside bronze casing. Inscriptions in Greek that read like an instruction manual. This wasn't a toy. This was a machine built to do one thing: predict the motion of the heavens. The Antikythera Mechanism, as we now call it, was designed around 100 BCE, roughly 2,000 years before the mechanical clock. It had at least 30 gears, possibly more. You inserted a crank, you turned it, and the machine told you where the moon would be 6 months from now, where the sun would rise, when eclipses would come. Think about what that cost. Not money, time. Someone spent months, maybe years, calculating the ratios between each gear, testing, failing, recalculating. No computers, no calculators, just arithmetic, geometry, and the will to understand the cosmos. That was the Stoic project, to know the universe on its own terms. But here's the puzzle that should haunt you. We found one. In all of antiquity, in all the shipwrecks and ruins, we've found one Antikythera mechanism. Were others destroyed, lost at sea, or did the ancients decide the cost wasn't worth paying? The Stoics believed that the universe operated by reason, logos, that everything followed law, that if you could understand those laws, you could live with clarity. The Antikythera builder believed this so deeply that he spent years building a machine to prove it, to show that the heavens weren't chaos, they were arithmetic. What decision was he under pressure to make? We don't know his name. We don't know if he was a mathematician, an engineer, or both. But he made a choice to spend his finite time, maybe years, on something that wouldn't make him rich, wouldn't make him famous, and wouldn't survive his lifetime. That's the Stoic answer to overwhelm: not to do less, to do what matters. Marcus Aurelius would write centuries later, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Antikythera builder couldn't control whether his machine would survive. He could only control whether he built it. So he built, he calculated, he tested, he corrected. He spent his effort on what he could control: the precision of his work, the clarity of his thinking, the integrity of his design. Whether the world appreciated it, that wasn't his decision to make. And here's what actually happened. His machine did survive. For 2,000 years it lay at the bottom of the sea, then a diver pulled it up. Then a researcher spent his career decoding it. Then engineers built machines to scan it. Then the whole world learned the ancients weren't primitive, they thought like us. The Stoics understood something we often forget. You don't control outcomes, you control effort, you control intention, you control whether you show up and think clearly. The Antikythera builder couldn't guarantee his work would matter. He could only guarantee he'd do the work well. That's the riddle, really. Not how did he build it, though that's remarkable. The riddle is, why did he build it? He knew it might be lost. He knew he'd get no credit. He knew the cost would be immense. And he built it anyway, because understanding the cosmos mattered more than comfort. When you're overwhelmed by modern life, by feeds, by noise, by the pressure to be seen, ask yourself what the Antikythera builder would ask. Am I doing this because I control it, or because I think it matters? Am I chasing outcomes, or am I building something true? The Stoics knew that clarity comes from asking, what's in my control? The Antikythera builder controlled his precision, his time, his integrity. He didn't control whether the ship would sink. He didn't control whether anyone would find it. He didn't control whether it would take 2,000 years to understand. But he controlled the work. And that control, that choice to build something true even when the outcome is uncertain, that's what echoes across 2,000 years. That's what makes us human, not the guarantee of success. The commitment to clarity in the face of it. So the next time you're facing a decision under pressure, a project that might fail, a goal with no guarantee, a choice that costs your time, remember, You're not the first to face this. The Antikythera builder faced it. Marcus Aurelius faced it. Every Stoic faced it, and they chose to act anyway. That's the real mechanism, not the gears and calculations, the mechanism of the will, the choice to build what matters, knowing the cost, accepting you can't control the outcome. That mechanism still works. It works right now, and it works because you decide to turn the crank. Subscribe. Each week, we decode another ancient decision that still teaches us how to live.